Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. So today we'll explain and complete it or learn the previous lectures in the method teaching of the second stage, the first chapter. Today this new chapters, okay, explorations of teaching. So please be attention up with me, okay? So we have this many questions we'll explain point by point, okay? What are ways to explore teaching? How can teacher explore teaching through self-observations? How can teacher explore their own teaching through the observation of other teachers? How can teacher explore teaching through talk? How can teacher explore teaching through teacher journal? Okay? How does this book provide opportunities make your transfer as a foreign language or a second language teacher explore teaching? So, how can the first questions, okay? How can teacher explore teaching through self-observations? As teacher, you can explore through process of describing, analyzing, and reflecting on our teaching. In this regard, I have been influenced by the work of John Plants. In 18 house idea I have adopted and changed in my pursuit to again deeper awareness of teaching to achieve this aim. I have created the following cycle process of observations. The first step in the cycle is to collect descriptive samples of our teaching that can be analyzed. Okay? That can be our analysis. This follows by reflections and multiple interpretations. The next step is concerned how the same lesson could be taught differently and draw out teaching plan. Then, with implementation, the new plans, the cycle returns to the collection of the samples of teaching. Let's take a closer look at each of stage in this cycle. Okay? How can teachers start teaching self-observation? What does mean these questions? Search of teaching through self-observations. Okay? As teacher can explore to be search of a process. This is the process of describing and analyzing. After describing, analyzing, or reflecting of a teaching. Okay? And influence to be work influence. To adoption, we have step. The first step to process of observation. The first step is observation to collect and descriptive. To analysis and reflection on multiple of interpretations. It that concept of teaching or belong to be stage as cycles. So look here in this picture, you student please. Till now it's clear for you? Has got it? Okay. Teach well to collect sample of teaching audio or video tip. Analyze interactions. Listen to video. Take notes, Scottish tell our behavior. Make sure transcript. Study the interaction, look up patterns. Analyze interactions, listen to voice. This is process. The first step, you have analysis. This analysis, to listen. After listening, written notes, Scottish transcriptions. After the written, we study of interactions. We have to be active, okay? Reflection, interpretation, and providing chance for the student to learn English. Do I block student from learning English? What are my beliefs about teaching? Are my teaching practice consistent with this belief? Do I what I think? Do I not the classroom? Are there any issues that self need to be addressed? I'm facing teaching self. Okay? After analyzing or to make your notes, already have reflection of and interpretations. To translation in your oral, not written. Written just done. Okay? Narrate the change plan to collect it. To change plan of the opposite plan to adapt random change of anything. So, I'll explain collecting samples of teaching. When you collect some of teaching, you have descriptions. When you collect information teaching, description of what actually goes on the classroom focus. Attention on aspect of teaching to give your idea of area. On teaching that describes short on page, listen to exploratory or searching questions teacher have asked after your searches. will ask left of initial script question, right of question to understanding. You have two parts. The first part to make your question and understand to happen to change our behavior as initiate. Okay? Till now is clear for you, dear students. If you have any question, just tell me or order to be repeated. Okay? Collecting symbols of teaching. Have select of symbol teaching. You have to write, focus on attentions. How make your question to be have observation and to creative question of the creative understanding the questions. So, to collect symbol of teaching that addresses an aspect of a classroom. Behaviors is our advantages. What is the benefit? Which is fruitful for audio or video to be classroom interactions? Yes, I suggest you have two small audio recorder, two common recorder. The advantage audio recorders is to use. However, some teacher prefer to video to. Why the teacher to prefer to benefit to better than video to because easy to recognize, to understand, and to discovering to talking possible to study nonverbal behaviors are situated the first audio recorder to come recorders students to change our behavior because they are to adapt to really doesn't take your prefers to the accept. Normally I have audio to video to many classes and amazing to be interesting and fascinating how to fast to accept recorder especially trait in natural part of classroom setting. Okay, I'm sorry. So, natural part classroom setting is taped down for dependent goals of exploration. For example, you are interested in the student reactions. Teacher, it is amazing. It is very fascinating for your student interactions after listening, analyzing, and be interpretation or reflection in your class. How use the question understand your student to be participation and interactions, variables and questions. Okay, so analyzing the sum of teaching. The second stage to analyze the collected samples of teachings. Analyze or depend to the objective of explorations. For example, if you are interested now in the number of questions, you can listen to the tape usually questions as well as John. For example, the actual question you can do the same thing for number of error. You try number times students speak English or their native language. And the second way is student to answer questions. Second, analyze the collected teachings about micro transcripts, audio or video chips are transcribed depending mainly focus explorations, interest in learning language errors. Okay, you can transcribe study session interactions. Okay, during group work activity, the further step you can take for analyzing action to go transcribe category of a system. So the benefit of analyzing, do we have interesting now number of questions? Do we have the same physical language to collecting for idea, analyzing or mark to understand to make your question and answer? We have what to answer understand. Okay. Interpreting and reflecting. After analyzing sense of description of a classroom, interactions, these are focused for questions. One set of questions I like to ask include how does interaction in the class provide chance for students to learn the language, and how does interaction possibly block students from learning the language? Of course, I can learn the question based on particular interest. For example, if I am interested in error treatment and have analyzed the patterns interaction around to student oral errors, I can ask, how do you have a trained student with English or language? Are trained possibly have perfect word accuracy? How does training possible accurate interest between for student and me? Interactions classroom students must interact provide the chance name of interaction questions. Interaction first offers students a chance to talk interaction and ask questions. The benefit of interrupting you have to notice the error what is the mistaking or your language or to have learned after your author for teachers. Deciding to change to teaching behavior. The next day, the exploration cycle starts for chance we're going to make our teaching questions. What do I want to do? Want to do? What small change want to make your teaching behaviors? Consequences change will have a teach students speak for language. Example, if you respond to a rent talk of discussions, cover students understand instructions, problem solving. The sessions of however possible for simple documents are something usual to before. Okay? After analyzing and understanding and make your descriptions, already have decided of change or teaching behaviors. For examples, if a student understands the oral instructions were written, then written was spoken. You have written with questions and possibility to answer, or do you understand to create if your answer to continue to be have collected some of the recording. All the things you have these chapters. Thank you very much. I have everything's clear for you. If you have any questions, tell me. I'll bring your description or comments. Thank you very much and see you next time. Goodbye.